Hey everyone, Regal Reviews here. It is the series finale of Once Upon a Time, and I'm completely heartbroken. I'm sure we all are over this, but it's time to do my last Once Upon a Time recap. So to recap on tonight's finale, we see that Robin and Alice are in Storybrooke, and they're basically looking for help with their situation, trying to find help for Rumpel, Nook, and Regina. And Storybrooke present, Henry is still young, and the town people think that these two are strangers because they don't know that that's an adult Robin. So their Granny's ready for crossbow. The dwarfs are chasing them with their pickaxe, and we see Zelena with a little Robin in the front seat, and Robin's able to convince Zelena that she's her, I guess if you want to call it, future daughter, to come and help. We find out that Rumpel, the Wish Rumpel, stripped Rumpel of his immortality and power, so not only is Rumpel powerless, but now he can die. Henry, or the Wish Henry, or I guess young Henry, Brock had guards bring Regina to him, and he puts a cuff on Regina so she can't use magic. And Regina, even though Henry wants to kill her at this point, Regina can't bear anything to happen to Henry. And she mentions how he saved her. And I mean, look at all through the series. Henry did save Regina. He was the reason why she wanted to change and be a better person. Or I should say, helped inspired her, And Henry says that the stories will be written with blood and tears, and he then cuts Regina's hand, and now her blood is on this sword. And Wish Henry wants to kill Regina, and apparently he's going to try to kill her the next day. All of a sudden we see Regina in a tavern, and I'm like, oh my god. Robin returns, but apparently it's a dream. Yeah, that's a big stab in the heart and the back to Outlaw Queen Shippers. It was very heartwarming though, because he says he's definitely gone, but he's always in Regina's heart, and she says to him how he's the one that led her in the right path, but he also says to her that he didn't do that, he only helped her. She's the one who did all the work herself, and I agree with that. I mean, Regina's said that Robin's only has been a part of her story. She also comments how their story was short, but Robin also says that just because their story was short doesn't mean that it wasn't epic. And man, was it epic, and man, was it short. Rogers and Weaver tried to break out of the snow globe that they're in, and it's no use until they see Maui's fishhook. Now, how could Maui's fishhook get there? And it was actually Alice that helped save them, and now apparently Zelena's there in order to help rescue Regina. So now this is present Storybrooke Zelena. Rumpel's trying to manipulate Henry to apparently write stories, because what he has planned is that the heroes won't get happy endings. They'll be trapped in basically their own storybook in like this kind of prison. And he does this to the Blue Fairy. He's able to manipulate Henry into trapping the Blue Fairy into her own story, and that every hero will suffer the same fate. Rumpel then goes to his castle and gets the dream catcher, and he uses that to remember the good times he's had with Belle. Like, the one I saw the most was their wedding, when they were the most happiest. And Rumpel has really tried to change and be a good person and reunite with Belle, but he feels like he's failed and let Belle down. All the heroes then try to attempt to rescue Regina before she's to be executed. And Nook's heart's the poison is basically overtaking his heart, and he is dying if nothing changes. So Robin then at that moment, thinking it might be the last opportunity to asks for permission to marry Alice. And of course he gives the blessing. And I thought that was so cute. One of my favorite things about season 7 has been Matt Archer. Adult Henry then goes to rescue Regina, but these guards attempt to kill Henry until 2 guards then kill the guard. And those guards are none other than Snow White and Prince Charming coming to help to save everyone. We see that Snow and Charming then have everybody in a war room to discuss the current situation, and they find out that basically they saw what Rumple's planning to do, and that basically everyone will be alone. Nobody will get a happy ending. They split up, and we find out the Dark One had hidden magic in the spindle that Rumple spilled straw in the gold. So he wants to use that magic in order to rip out the dark Rumpelstiltskin's heart. Henry then has a search party going out. Young Henry then has a search party going out to look for Regina, but she goes to Henry herself, and he wants her to die, and he's prepared to sword fight her, and they do. And at one point, Regina loses her sword, and she's willing to die to show Henry that people care about him, because this wish Henry hasn't gotten a happy ending, and every time he's tried it's always failed, and he's basically lost everyone at this point in this world. So yeah, he's not happy at all, and Regina's able to convince Henry to not kill her. I was very happy about that because I was worried for Regina for a while. While all this is happening, they're starting to get sucked into their stories, and Nook grabs onto Alice, and I'm thinking, is there any repercussions that he's holding Alice's hand for that long? But it also shows the fact that he's willing to sacrifice his own life to save his daughter. Rumple then has a confrontation with Dark Rumple and says that he is the strongest of the versions of the two, and that he's willing to do the right thing. And while Nook is dying right there, Alice sees what's going on, and she says, "You can't do this." And Rumple says that when you do the right thing, you don't do it for a reward, you do it because it's the right thing to do. And Rumple then gives his heart to save Nook so he can be with Alice, and Rumple then dies because of that. And it really shows how far he's come, because when this show began, he was the main villain, but in the end, he died a hero. And Rumple then was reunited with Belle, and I think we can all have some comfort in our hearts to know that Rumbelle got their happy ending, and I can't believe it's taken me 7 seasons to realize what an underrated ship Rumbelle is. I definitely didn't appreciate it up to this point, and it's really strengthened my love for the story of Beauty and the Beast. And Regina says goodbye to Rumple and says that she comments how he saved everyone, and that he showed her that there is light in everybody. And we find out that Regina has to cast another curse, but instead of it being a dark curse, she wants to, it's basically as she put it, a blueprint to something great. She says everybody basically gives a piece of them from themselves, and the magic will bring all the realms together into Storybrooke, so they'll all coexist together. And that is called Operation We Are Both, as we've heard that saying before. And they cast the curse, and everybody's in Storybrooke, and we find out where the characters lie. We find out an interesting thing that a lot of fans have been wondering about Maleficent and Lily, their story, who Lily's father is. Apparently it's Zorro. Would have never guessed that. But the people, then we see that Henry's taking Regina to this place, and it's where it all began, where she was going to destroy, where she destroyed Snow and Charming's wedding. We find out the people want Regina to be the queen of the new realms. I thought they would just call it the Queen of Storybrooke, but anyway. They're about to begin the coronation. I thought for a second there was this little boy there. I thought maybe Roland was there, but that's actually Prince Neil. And Emma actually runs in her red leather jacket with Baby Hope, saying, "Sorry I'm late." So that was kind of cool that they added that there. And Snow then crowns Regina as the good queen. Long may she reign. And I got chills because Regina started the series as the evil queen, and now she ends the series as the good queen. And Emma looks like she's proud of Regina and says, "You finally got your happy ending." And Regina comments how this isn't an ending. And Emma's thinking, "Oh, like a new beginning?" And Regina comments that it's basically not a happy... Well, it is a happy beginning, but not really a happy beginning. It's more of a second chance. And that... let me read my notes here. And she refuses... Oh my goodness. Refuses to believe that there will be no more adventures, that there's... that loss is a part of life, and we can get past it with hope. And then it ends with going through the different places in Storybrooke that we've all known and loved, like Granny's Diner, Gold's Pawn Shop, etc. And then it goes to the sign leaving Storybrooke, and it just fades black from there. So yeah, I'm really upset and heartbroken that Once Upon a Time is over. This show has meant so much to me over the years and has really shaped me into the person I am today, and has helped me grow as a person, and I definitely wouldn't have become the person I am today without Once. I was a little confused with the ending, because now you have Wish Henry, now you have Adult Henry. Does that mean they're still in Storybrooke's present, or is this the present now? You know, it just didn't make sense, because then there's Kid Neil, but then there's Adult Robin, but then there's no Kid Robin anymore. So what exactly is... That was just very confusing for me, so I'm hoping the writers or some of the fans can maybe comment below and clarify that. So I hope you all enjoyed the series finale of Once Upon a Time, and for the last time, stay regal.